Shit, lads. We're late. What time is it?
It's after 8.
I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those times, I'm way too numb, yeah. It's way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time I need that hind to throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around, when you throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. 713, could've 21, yeah, I'm riding. Why they on me? Why they on me? I'm flying, sipping low key. I'm sipping low key and honest, find a rider. I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those times, I'm way too numb, yeah. It's way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time I need the hind.
Hey, get in.
Get in
What
there.
a result. Get in.
Unreal.
Usually when my internet dies
Yeah.
right at the start. Go get in. How are you, lads?
Much better after that. Much better after that.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh, boys, I am absolutely buzzed, I'm not going to lie. For the whole of that second half, I was stood up right next to the TV, just watching every moment, just jumping down there.
kicking every ball.
Literally. What a game.
What a game.
Superb stuff, boys.
Yeah, and you know what? Let's get to the historic moments of it. It's Newcastle's biggest ever away win in the league, and it's also the first time 8 different scores have scored in the Premier League match. So, record-breaking Newcastle United tonight. Let's get straight into it, lads. Let's talk through the game. And yeah, because there's a lot to get through. First of all, on a sad note, it was great to see the tributes that Newcastle and the Sheffield United fans had for Matty Cusack who passed away there during the weekend. I know Wade is did a nice tribute as well on the show. I was listening to it on Spotify there on Saturday, but also Amanda paid her respects as well on behalf of Newcastle. But our thoughts are with Sheffield United and the family. But moving on. Okay, let's get there. Let's get into the game. This is where the positivity comes in. Let's go into the team sheet. So there was some changes. Miggy starts, Barnes starts, Gordon on the bench, Wilson starts, Isak on the bench, Tonali on the bench. Not even a place in our team for Isak and Tonali. Pretty amazing to think that, especially considering the last time we played Sheffield United. But what did you make of the team, lads? Pete.
After away days, I was expecting kind of like more changes, because obviously, Chris, you came with like kind of an alternative lineup, and actually, I after having thinking about it, I was thinking actually, yeah, I get it, and you know, to see Burns starting, to see Trips in the team wasn't necessarily a disappointment. It was just I was shocked that they hadn't got a rest more than anything. The midfield I expected. And to be fair, the forward line I kind of expected. Miggy running Luke Thomas riot against Leicester last season. I thought it has to be one that needs to be played, and Barnes had to start because he needed minutes and he needed to get another start under his belt. Wilson because he didn't play in San Siro. So I kind of looked at it in that, and I almost in one sense wasn't surprised about the midfielder and the attack, but the defense did surprise me. But at the same time, it didn't make me feel like negative in any way, in any sort of way. I thought, well, we've got an experienced, organised back four there, so I thought we're probably even more confident going into the game from my perspective.
Before we go to you, Chris.
Super chat received.
Chris, tell us about the super chat.
I just took it off. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah.
No.
Colin Nichol. Colin, thank you very much, very much, mate. Really, really nice of you. Colin, get them comments in. Tell us your thoughts on the game. Tell us what you thought of the match. Who was your man of the match? In fact, we can throw that out now to everybody. You know, get your man of the match selections in.
Good luck.
It's going to be a difficult one this week. But yeah, get your selections in. And Colin, if you've got a question to ask me, or you want to, put something in there, do let us know, and we'll throw it in the comments. But yeah. Oh, do you know what? The overriding feeling for me at full time was just last season vibes. That's all I can say. It was like watching us last season, and I've not actually felt like that this season, bar Villa. I mean, obviously Villa, it was very, very similar. We're very dominant, high press, loads of energy, constantly looking for those forward balls, and that's what we saw today. That's what was so brilliant. We were absolutely lethal. And we haven't seen that since the first game of the season against Villa. And then to, come back off a fantastic point at the San Siro, to go and do that today was something else. On the subject of the lineup, Pete, yeah, I think, anyone who saw the away days, I thought that we may start Jamal Lascelles, or Jamal Lascelles would play a part today. Thought he might rest Shah. I said that Livramento could be right back, Hall could be left back. I think I got the midfield three right from memory. That's about it.
Yeah.
And there was a doubt, wasn't there, as to we knew Miggy would start on the right, we knew Wilson was through the middle, and we were wondering whether it'd be Gordon or possibly Barnes. So it turns out it wasn't too bad, and it was nice to see Livramento and Hall get minutes, but I'm sure we'll get to that later. So it wasn't the worst prediction ever, but yeah, I must admit, like Pete, I wasn't disappointed when I saw the lineup. Mainly the back four, I can see why he keeps going with it, because it is so solid and they are so comfortable with each other. But I did think it was time to give Dan Burn a rest. But what do I know?
What do you know? It does deserve the zebra there, Lisa. I saw that one. Look, there's nearly 200 people in live in the chat. Each of you hit that like button. We're after getting 8-0 today. Thanks for watching as well. Also, I want each of you who watches this, I want you to go out and get 8 more subscribers for go. I want talk to your family, your brothers, your sisters, your colleagues at work. Make sure they're subscribed to Loaded. I want 8 new subscribers from everybody in that chat, and I want 800 likes. Everything's about 8 today. Right.
What about 888 likes? 888.
Pete, just drink those 8 brandies. I'm not talking to
you. On it. I just need to get some more coke on it.
Right. Okay. Let's move on. This is the Sheffield United team as well. Right. Straight into it. Also, there was the minute silence for Maddie as well, and on the 8th minute there was a round of applause, which was respectively shared by both sides. On the 10th minute, Barnes went off with an injury, and on comes Gordon as well. Then the first 20 minutes or so, Sheffield United had kind of the more chances. They had more chances than Newcastle. Newcastle were lacking that kind of killer pass to Wilson. That's what Mr. Madison was providing in that London derby at the game before that. But anyway, moving on. 20 minutes. Gordon ball in and Longstaff goal. So that was the first goal for Longstaff, first goal of the day. And you did notice Sean Longstaff saying to Gordon, "Did that ball go out?" Now, for me, I must have obviously went to VAR and they checked it. But for me, you can see it hit his hand. I first of all, I thought it would gone out, and then the whole handball thing. I don't know if that goal should have counted. I'm taking it all day, every day. What's your thoughts on that one, lads?
Go on, Chris. Go for it, man.
I didn't celebrate it whatsoever. I had a couple of those last season because Lisa was like, "Oh, it's goal," and I was like, "Nah." I said it'll get chalked off as the ball was out of play. And then when I watched it back, I saw that the ball was just in play, and then it hit his hands. So I thought, no, yeah. I'll be honest. I think we got away with one there, because if that hadn't have hit his hands, the ball would have trickled away from him, and then he wouldn't have been able to just get that ball in. But you know what? We say this all the time, don't we, boys? I mean, as it turns out, I don't think it would have made a difference the way that we carried on. But I think I think, we've had a little bit of misjustice this season, and no doubt we'll have more to come. So I'm sure it'll balance itself out. But yeah, for me, I was very surprised it was counted, if I'm honest.
Were you surprised, Pete?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm in Chris's boat here. I'm the same as Chris. I kind of didn't really celebrate it. Like me and my daughter, we were just kind of sitting down watching it. And my daughter kind of jumped up and was celebrating. I just kind of sat there. She was like, "We scored, Daddy, we scored." I was like, "I don't think it's going to count."
You're like, "No, babe, no."
Yeah, I was just looking at her like, "Hey, just do that."
Yeah.
It's not going.
I've been here before.
Yeah. Go on. Yeah, I know what's happening here.
Yeah.
But honestly, I couldn't believe it. It was only when they hit back to the screen and we'd already kicked off and we were already in game, already in play. And at that point, I was like, yes, going mad. And like, I startled my little boy a little bit because he wasn't expecting me to jump up because I was so calm and collected. All of a sudden, I was just like on it.
Ava was probably like, "Dad, sorry, I did say it was a goal."
Yeah. She didn't. She just kind of gave me the look as if to say, "Told you."
Master and the apprentice.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. But honestly, we deserve that. You look at the Brentford one last week. That should have probably been a penalty. I know we said it, by the letter of the law, all the rest of it, but really, we've seen this weekend that very similar decisions were given, and they were penalties. So it's kind of like decisions have gone against us. So therefore, I'm glad that one went for us. It wasn't intentional hit of the hand. It was clearly in play, and it was just fucking great football from Anthony Gordon, who was sensational today. Absolutely sensational. This is Sean Longstaff. This is what we want to see more of. Appearing in the box, approaching the box, trying to get on the end of things, because we know when he gets opportunities, he can put the ball in the net. Brilliant all round. Really, really good.
Sean Longstaff, who identified him as being a key pivotal figure? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We move on. Right.
Come on, get the flowers. Get your flowers. Get your flowers whilst they're there, whilst they're blooming, Daz. Come on.
Right, let's move on. 30 minutes. Before that, actually, Gordon was getting lots of joy down that left-hand side as that Bosnian right back who got booked, and then he was on him again. He was having a mare. I think he's a right back. But on the 30th minute, Tripp's corner. Actually, there was a corner before that, and it came to nothing, but it came off. The keeper made a save. Actually, I think it would be from Miggy's shot. But then another corner. Tripp's put it in the box. Who got his head on it? Only Big Dan Byrne using that head in the opposite end of the pitch for once and getting it on target. So well done, Dan Byrne, for that one. Thoughts on that goal, lads, as I show a few pictures for that one. Pete, we got you on Byrne's goal.
It was just a really well taken set piece. A really, really well taken set piece. We had Sheffield United at 6s and 7s. With that one, they did not know what to do. Who I can't remember who defended him. I'm not sure if it was Egan, but he had off of his shirt, and he still couldn't get him off. And it reminded me of a goal that he scored for Brighton at Goodison Park just before he signed for Newcastle, and it was one where it was whipped to the back post. I think in that occasion it got a little bit of a flick on, and he was at the back post, and he doesn't really make too many back post headers or runs to the back post. And when he does, they're always really far and past the goal, really deep. But it was the perfect delivery from Trippier. And look, Dan Byrne just had to put it goalwards, because as long as he got it on target, it was going to be a goal. And it's great to see him score. I think, we were talking about it in the chat when it went in, and I was like, he's got his one goal for the season, but hopefully this season 23-24 he puts a few more in. This is what we need. We need him having more of an attacking threat in the opposition's box. Brilliant stuff from Dan Byrne.
Nice one. I think it could have been that Bosnian defender that was trying to mark Dan Bird, but yeah, he didn't have the greatest of days. Shout out to any Bosnian mags out there as well. Come and join Loaded, and also the nearly 300 people in the chat. Smash that like button. Your task is to get to 800 likes and get 8 more subscribers. You know what to do. Chris, your thoughts on Burn's goal?
Really, really good. And yet another fantastic delivery into the box. And I thought Burn did really well to get on the end of it. My obviously after he'd scored and my celebrations and stuff like that, my lasting feeling was, this is what we should see more of. This is what Dan Burn is capable of. Because the ball actually looked like there was a little bit too much on it. And Burn had to kind of manipulate his run and then to redirect it, and he really lunged at it. It was a great header, a really, really great header. And I made up for Dan Burn because, sometimes he does get a bit of stick from us and from, other members of the fan base. But fantastically well today. And it was a really, really clever finish at the back post, and he was determined to get there, and he got there. I just want to see more of that now.
Cool. We'll move on. I don't know why I have this wrote down, but I thought it might be pivotal in the day, but no, it wasn't. 32 minutes, 1-on-1 with Wilson, and should have finished at that point. Next after that was a challenge by Robinson on Longstaff, which didn't look great. It wasn't as bad as the reaction probably entailed, but yeah, what did improve? No one was seriously injured on it, so we'll move on. He just got a yellow card, Robinson, but 35 minutes. The man that has never scored for Newcastle steps up. Another corner from Trips. And here he is. Botman finishes. I think there was a few screams when that one went in.
Yeah.
Botman absolutely delighted with his goal. Chris, I think I'm back to you to start us off on describing the Botman's goal.
Oh, mate, like I watched it back a bit earlier as well. Absolutely brilliant header. Proper good finish, I'd call it. The ball, again, fantastic delivery in from the right. And Botman knows there's a good bit of pace on it, and all he's got to do is redirect it. But he does it fantastically. Like, the keeper actually dives, but because it's placed so well in the corner, he's got no chance. As soon as it left Botman's head, I knew it was in the net. Because of the pace that was put in from Trippier, all Botman had to do was just basically direct it, and it was a fantastic header. And I believe it was Botman's 50th appearance for Newcastle. I can't believe he's played 50 times for Newcastle, but yeah, 50th appearance, and he marks it with a goal, and it was a fantastic header, a proper centre back's goal, I'd say. Really, really clever header, and yeah, fully deserved it.
Now, Pete, you might have had the same reaction as me when that one went in, but how delighted were you for Botman?
I want to hear your reaction again. That was brilliant.
It's on the WhatsApp message.
It was like a very high-pitched scream, and mine was the same. It was one of those when he hits the back of the net. Like Chris said, great delivery again. As soon as he gets ahead on it, I think the commentators on Sky said it perfectly. As soon as he makes contact on it, it's already past the goalkeeper. Yeah, so the goalkeeper's just diving. He's literally just Foddington's just diving just for the reaction of it all, just to make people think that he's actually attempted to get there. He had no chance of getting there. It was the perfect header, and I liked how I think it might have been the presenter or Jamie Redknapp said that it was almost reminiscent of a Les Ferdinand type bullet swerve header into the far corner. Really good goal, and this is what Sven Botman can do, because these were the type of goals that he was scoring at Lille, and I'm actually surprised it's taken him this long to get a goal, because he was lethal for Lille. In front of goal, set pieces, corners, free kicks, whatever. And we haven't really seen that from him. So it was great for him to get that. And actually, I'm really hoping it's going to build his confidence. I want to see more of this from Botman, because for me, he can be an outstanding centre-back. Anybody can. But to put you in that elite, you need to contribute with goals as well. All the best centre-backs in Premier League history contributed with goals. 5 a season would be a great number for him to target. 4 more this season, and that would, for me, with his performances on the pitch, would make for a really, really much improved on last season if he can. If he can do that, outstanding, superb defender.
Hang on, I think the comments popping up there, and I didn't get to that part of the way it is yet. But did he predict another draw? The way it is.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. He did. He went for 1-1, but I think but before we got to the 1-1, and the thing about it is, he didn't want to reveal the score. So he talked about us winning the game. He talked about us winning the game, and then he talked about us potentially losing the game, and then he talked about us drawing the game, and then didn't put the score up. So we went back to him and was like, so what's the score then? And then he eventually put the 1-1, and everyone's just like, oh my God. How are you doing?
I want to watch that now.
And Ollie's like, I'll take it. And I bet Ollie would take it right now.
Yeah, I bet he would.
Yeah.
I bet Ollie'd also take Chris Wilder now as well. He's on the fence of that as well. He was kind of him and Hall whether he would, but we'll see how that plays out. Right. We're still not finished the first half because there was a penalty shout on 37 minutes for Gordon. There was a bit of a trip on Gordon. Flash Gordon, you're right. Flash Gordon.
Did anyone else think that was a bit? I can't see how they didn't think it was a penalty. Yeah, he went over and he made a bit of a meal of it, but there was clear contact.
Yeah,
I don't see how they didn't give it.
Boys, it's a stonewall penalty.
It is, isn't it?
It's a stonewaller. I can't remember who said it on Twitter. Someone said it on Twitter at halftime, or X, whatever it's called now. I don't know. Someone said, and I agree with them, that it was almost like the referee felt sorry for them.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I would be absolutely seething if we were sat here after a draw or a potential loss because he didn't give that decision. That was shocking. It was a stonewall penalty. You can see watching it back. And Jamie Carragher, he wanted a Newcastle hangover today. He did not want Newcastle United to win. His reactions were all held back massively, and the only one he bigged up was his Scouse friend, Mr. Anthony Gordon, throughout the whole of that game. Now, even when he reacts, he kind of like goes, oh, and then he goes silent and doesn't really say anything because he knows within himself that it's a penalty. When you watch that back, slow motion, he knocks the ball past him and the guy clearly clips his foot. It's a stonewaller. Yeah. Stopped him from going through. Shocking decision. Yeah. Absolutely shocking. Which makes me even more of the reason why I was like, I'm doubling down on the fact that the Longstaff goal stood because of that. So yeah, I don't know what everyone else thinks.
Just to add what Predator said there, he was talking about when we were talking about the Anthony Gordon goal. By the letter of the law, because it wasn't deliberate and Gordon didn't end up scoring the goal, then it's not handball and it's a goal. So because Longstaff scored from Gordon's cross, it's basically another passage in play. So that's why the Longstaff goal was allowed. So that's interesting. Thank you for that, Predator.
Yeah, top stuff, Predator. Brilliant.
Before we finish the first half, I think there could be another super chat. I put it up on screen and get the old music, the old jingle.
Super chat received.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you for the super chat. Boys, what are you read it out?
Go on, Chris fella.
So Jerry Sue says, am I right? If I'm reading the visual message right, it seems there's another little Bruno or brunette on the way. And I thought the same, actually, because I did anyone else when he scores? I thought maybe it's because of the score line, or maybe, I don't know, because normally Bruno goes off his head, doesn't he? And he's like dead muted, just like Orcs, like looks dead like pan-faced. And then he starts doing all this, and then he's got the ball under his shirt, and I thought, oh, he must be another baby, but...
Yes, that's right. The news... Yeah, the news broke during the week. He's had a busy week. He's probably, and he's had a busy summer as well with a couple of weddings. But there's another little Bruno on the way. Matthew will have a little brother or sister, but we're going to get to that.
Brother.
Don't spoil it, Jim.
Brother, apparently.
Oh, his little brother. Oh,
yeah. He put it in his tweet after the game. He wanted to announce that he's obviously that they were expecting, and he said he's and he referred to another boy on the way. So Great news.
Lovely news. But Jerry Sue, thank you very much for the super chat, mate. Much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Jerry. Thanks for that. We're still not finished that first half because on the 50th minute, Gordon had a shot and was looping over, and then the goalie got a tip to it as well. But that took us to half time, 3-0. Game was pretty much over nearly at that stage. But we came out in that second half, and on the 55 minutes, another great goal. This is a passing movement. The passing here was brilliant. It was Bruno to Shar. I think this is the goal for that. Yeah, Bruno to Shar trips them with a little dink over, and Wilson with headed it in the back of the net. 4-0 at this stage for Newcastle. But what did you make of that goal? I think it's you, Pete. We'll go to the next. For Wilson's goal.
A superb piece of football, lads. I'm not going to lie, the way we were popping the ball around, I think you refer to it as the triangles, the old pizza slices that we put on our tactics board. It came to fruition. We were just playing around at will, and the way in which they worked the ball in, pinpoint accuracy in the cross again for Trippier, and Wilson had missed a couple. And before that, he probably should have been on the score sheet in the first half, but he's never going to miss that. Popped it through his legs with the head, and the old captain's sign off to the away fans. Fantastic all-round goal. And it just showed at that point the dominance of Newcastle United. We were well up and running at that point.
Before you go to you, Chris, here we go again.
Received.
Another super chat, and this time I believe it's from Frederick. Frederick goes, met a Macedonian NUFC fan at the Milan game who's seen us live 3 times without us scoring. I hope he was at the Sheffield United game today. I hope he was as well. But cheers, Frederick, for the donation to the channel. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, mate.
Stop, mate.
Right, Chris, to get your thoughts on Wilson's goal.
Very plain and simple. I think Callum Wilson missed a couple of good chances for me, but he was getting in the areas. He looked lively. There was a couple of occasions. Don't get me wrong. He got a good shot off, but the keeper made a pretty standard save kind of thing. But again, to keep reiterating it, that delivery, he can't miss. He can't miss. Fantastic delivery. And as soon as the ball come in, I'm thinking in my head, it's a goal. It's a goal, because it's pinpoint delivery. Again, enough pace on it so that all he's got to do is just get any part of the body on it, keep it on target, and it's going in the back of the net. So, it's very, very easy goal for Callum Wilson. And, I know he embraced Trippier after it, but yeah, fantastic delivery. But yeah, I was made up Callum Wilson got on the score sheet, because to be fair, he deserved to. But Wilson could have had a hat-trick today.
Yeah, he could have. And I saw in the little interview afterwards that he said that as well. He was disappointed he didn't score more, but yeah, keep him hungry. That's what we want. Right. 60th minute, Miggy hit the ball in the net, but he had straight offside, so that one didn't count. But 61 minutes, this one did count, because it was Flash Gordon, and he's shot from distance, from outside the box, bottom corner, perfect finish. What a goal, and what a performance actually, from Gordon, all around, but from Gordon especially, from coming on for Barnes in that first 10 minutes. What a goal. Chris, we'll go to you on your boy, Flash Gordon, and his wonder goal today.
Like he was absolutely excellent when he come on. Like, he was unbelievable. He was everywhere, and he deserved that goal today. He really, really did. And what a finish, by the way. Like, again, keep repeating myself, but it was one of them. As soon as it left his boot, you knew it was in. It was just a lovely, lovely, lovely finish. And he was a massive threat on that left hand side today. And I know that a few of us, me included, have been saying that we want to see Anthony Gordon out on the right, but if he keeps on playing like that on the left, I just don't think you can move him. He was just brilliant today, absolutely brilliant, and he topped it off with a fantastic goal. So I don't know if it was. I was deliberating with myself before. I think it was my favourite goal. Maybe not my favourite goal today, but it was a fantastic finish. Really, really good and fully deserved. And we saw the celebration at the end, how much it meant to him. I had a few of my blue mates going to me, I love a bit of fake passion. Fancy celebrating like that when you're 5-0 up. You just can't do anything. Just can't do anything right. And I said,
Can't
tell you
win.
what, you stay in your lane. I'm happy with him. If you don't like him, it's good that you've given him to us because we're more than happy with him. So you just crack on, and we'll just keep enjoying this version of Anthony Gordon.
Sour grapes, Chris.
Can't they hate it, mate? They hate it. Hate it. Fake passion. Yeah.
Hey, well, there's another old boy on display. Tom Davies had a run out as well. Didn't do much. He got an assist, I think, for us.
Yeah. He
Honestly.
played the ball
For
for
Isak.
the Oh.
Yeah. Pete, we'll go back to Flash Gordon's goal. What did you make of it?
Firstly, I just want to say, Chris, bottle up all your blue mates' tears. Bottle them up. Put them in a beer glass or a wine glass or a brandy glass like mine, and just drink them and just enjoy every little taste.
So bad, mate. It's so bad.
Because that is, if anyone's those Blues are crying tonight because they would do anything to have Anthony Gordon playing like this in their Everton team. Yes, they won at Brentford, but they would dive to have a player like Anthony Gordon running riot and wearing that blue, but he's wearing black and white. Not today, but he normally is. And that passion, you can tell that's real. What a goal. What a goal. Superb finish. Not an easy finish as well, but the pace, the power, the bend, like that's not easy. Like quality players can only finish like that. And he's quickly showing Newcastle United and his fans that he's becoming a quality player. He really, really is. He is becoming frightening for opposition. He's the player that oppositions are now talking about, and probably on the first topic of conversation is how do we stop Anthony Gordon? That is quickly becoming the conversation. He was brilliant for his goal, fully deserved it, and you cannot fake passion like that in front of the away fans. The badge, got the badge. He knows what it means to play for Newcastle United. He's not quite kissed it yet. That'll come. Don't worry. You'll be there. You'll be there waiting for the tears to drop as well. Chris. Make sure your bottle's big enough. That's what I'm going to say, just so you can capture them all. But yeah, Anthony Gordon, he's, you know what, he surprised me at the beginning of this season, but he's really starting to impress me now. Really starting to impress me. And long may it continue.
Yeah, that's brandy number 5 for Pete. We're on. I don't know how many likes we have already, but we want to get to 800 and make sure you bring 8 subscribers to our channel.
At this rate, Daz, I'll be at 888 brandies before we get there. So make sure you get your likes in quick. Try and get me to stop these.
Speaking about stopping goals for and Sheffield United, we've got to stop these super chats because they keep flying in.
Received.
We've got another one. Now, who is it coming from? It's coming from Daniel Much.
Legend.
Thank you, Daniel.
Top man.
Thanks, Daniel. First of all, great game. What I've seen our midfield, best I've seen our midfield this season, flowed like it did last season. Do you think that maybe we have a bit of a Gerrard and Lampard situation? Good question there. Both great, but can't play it together. I think it's still early days, Daniel. Myself, we have to. And didn't Eddie come out in the press conference and said that Sandro Tonali's only had one training session, so we've got to give it time. It does look like that at the moment, a bit like that. Good to point towards the Gerrard and Lampard situation. Of course, a big problem that England used to have, but I don't know. I hope not. I hope that they can make it work. I know Bruno has been more disciplined in the last little while as well. He's playing in that number 6 role. He doesn't wander off as much. And Longstaff coming in there is made a massive difference. But lads, what do you think?
Go on, Chris.
I think it's a great point Daniel's made, and I see why he thinks that, or thinks that could be the case. But I think. Do you know what? And this sounds this sounds mad saying it. I think both of them are more rounded than Gerrard and Lampard. I'm not saying the better. So before anyone jumps on me, I'm not saying the better midfielders, but but I think that the multi-disciplines. So I think they can play in different positions within that midfield three. And I think with Eddie Howe as well, he will get the best out of them. Daz made a great point. Eddie said in the press conference that Tonali has only had one proper training session. And I think you're right, Daz. It just needs a little bit of time, and I think we can make it work. Maybe once Tonali, understands the Premier League better. Maybe once his English improves, stuff like that. Maybe we'll see Tonali be the one who drops deeper, and then that'll release Bruno further forwards. A few people were saying that the reason for the delay in the contract was because Bruno wanted assurances that he was going to be moving further forward. Perhaps that's something Eddie's promised him. Who knows? But yeah, I think they can play together, and I think Eddie Howe will make it work. He'll find a way, is what I'd say.
Pete, do you want to get in and answer there?
Yeah, not worried at all. Not worried one little bit. And as you mentioned it as well about the fact that Tonali hadn't trained, he actually said in his press conference anyhow that he's only trained once in the last month. If you're only training once, that's so
actually so excited. What are you
if you're only training once in a month, like that's not normal. And so you're not going to get a player that's 100% fit and firing. You're just not. You need time. You need training sessions. You had the international break and then he got injured, so he couldn't even train before the next game. And I think they probably wrapped him in cotton wool to make sure he could play at the San Siro. And it's just like he's not had that settled moment since the season started where he can get regular training under his belt and really kind of integrate himself into the team. He'll get there. And Bruno and Sandro will definitely play in this team a lot of games this season, and they'll play well as well. I'm not worried. Quality players will always rise to the top. It's as simple as that. And those boys will. We're seeing Bruno now really settle into the season, finding his rhythm, playing regular football. Once Sandro gets up to 100% fitness and he gets back in, like I'm not worried at all. And neither should anybody else really, because we've got a fantastic manager that knows what he's doing.
I'm getting worried, Pete.
Super chat received.
What? This is crazy, but thank you so much. Amazing.
Jordy Mick, the man that the best giver of hugs ever. Jordy Mick says we are fucking class. That's all. That is all. Lisa, not sorry for caps. Kiss, kiss.
Never be sorry for the caps, Jordy. Never be sorry for the caps ever.
Right. I think we're heading towards goal number 6 and brandy number 6 for you, Pete. That's what that means. Right. But we're not getting there yet. Sheffield United fans started to go home on 61 minutes, and I can't really blame them. But and then Anderson showed a great passion as well to go back after he lost the ball, to go back and win the ball, which didn't go unnoticed by our bench. 67 minutes though. Bruno passed straight through the Sheffield United defence like butter, and a Miggy goal. What did you make of that goal? I can't remember who I started with first last time. I'm going to go over you, Chris, to start.
I thought it was horrendous defending from Sheffield United because Bruno just had the ball, and you see him do a little look, and he was like, "Oh, Miggy's running through there. I'll just put the ball through and nobody attempted to follow Miggy. Great finish from Miggy. He could have fluffed that, but he finished it really well, and you actually heard the net ping. So we put a bit of power into it. But yeah, honestly, that was so bad from Sheffield United. That's probably the one that hurt the most because literally, as I say, Bruno collects the ball. He's looking and he's thinking, where can I put this? And Miggy starts running and he just goes, yeah, Miggy. And he just p-rolls the ball right through the whole of their defence, and then Miggy tucks it away. But yeah, it was a nice finish from Miggy, and obviously, it's nice that Bruno could assist as well as score. But yeah, so easy. So easy.
Much like our ratings that get people riled and annoyed, but will be later on. Our ratings will be very easy. Pete, your thoughts on Miggy's goal?
quality finish. I think the fact that he takes it so early, I think he just surprises the goalkeeper. Because with Miggy, he tends to take a touch, then another touch, and it gives an opportunity for defenders to come back in. But he just takes it, instinct, turns, lets it run through his body, bang, into the far corner. Superb finish. And it just showed the level of quality we are above Sheffield United. The way in which we dispatched our chances and the way we put them to the sword today. Brilliant goal.
Right. Then it was time for Eddie Howe to make some changes. So off come Wilson, Miggy, and Trips, and on comes Isak, Tonali, and Livramento. 68 minutes. 73 minutes, Bruno goal. So Bruno, right after him signing a new contract, or I don't know if it's been officially announced, but he's signed a new contract, an extension to his contract. But a goal from Bruno. Cue the celebrations, and everyone's going, as you described there earlier, Chris, what's he going to do? And this is what he does, as we talked about there a few seconds ago. So a new baby boy on the way for Bruno and Anna. So congratulations to the pair. But what did you make of Bruno's goal? Pete, go to you first.
Well, just before I talk about the goal, any question marks about his contract, I think have been completely squashed after this game today. I'm just literally now watching a video from Matty from the Magpie channel, the reaction to Bruno's goal, and he actually says to the fans, "I'm fucking staying," and he gives the badge. We don't see it on Sky. But we hear the reaction of the game. I remember the fans, the commentator saying, "Bruno's having the fans, blah blah blah," and he does one of these, "I'm fucking staying," and he points to the ground, and the fans are going mad. I'm just watching the video now. It's a great video. So big up to Matty for capturing that. But no worries about his contract. He's staying, and it was great to see him score. Great to see him arrive in the box, be in the right place at the right time. Lovely finish. Some great football to create that moment. I think Longstaff goes for the shot and it kind of deflects out into his path. And he deserved the goal. I thought he was excellent today, Bruno Guimaraes. I thought he was superb. He was capturing souls all over the place with some of his little megs and some of his little touches on the board. He was not capturing souls. He was taking them. He was taking souls today, all over the shop, and that's the Bruno that we got when he first signed for Newcastle and all of last season. So great to have him back flying.
Taking souls. I hope you'll be taking souls when you're back in that 12-man podcast, Pete. And more to come there. And just to remind Dan Lawless, like West Ham are going to win the league, but we're a point behind them now. Just get that through to Dan Lawless as well.
He's already tweeted out. He quote tweeted Newcastle United account for the final score, and he's saying, we better put Sheffield United to the sword because they've got them next. We better do this. We better do that. Panic stations. They know we're coming. And after their loss today, they've had their little easy start beating teams that they're expected to beat. Now they're coming up against big boys, and it's going to start evening itself out. We'll just stay calm. We'll just stay calm. Let them pick themselves up. Let them put themselves in the title race, is what Lourdes has been doing the last few weeks. Let them put themselves in the title race. We'll just go about our business. He had that build as the Champions League fight out today against Liverpool. Let them do it. Wow. We'll just go about our business. And hey, if we're sitting here in December within the top 6 or 7, having played 6 games in the Champions League, having played a Carabao Cup game or maybe more, I'm fully confident that by the time European stuff kicks in February, and hopefully we're still in it, we'll have put results together that will put us right on the map for Europe. I ain't worried about that. But Dan needs to be.
Chris, your thoughts on Bruno's goal?
Yeah, it was pretty fortunate, wasn't it? I mean, Sean Longstaff looked like he was putting his laces through it, and then it took a little ricochet, and then Bruno was just stood there, and he thought, oh, yeah, I'll have a bit of that. He really controlled it really well, actually, because it really did fizz into him, but he controlled it well. and kept calm and finished it. So yeah, I thought it was a good finish. But yeah, the celebration was great. I was a bit worried at first because he looked so muted and so flat, and then he just started going for it. And he must have been thinking to himself, "Oh, what should I celebrate with?" But no, I was made up for him to get the goal as well. I thought it was important for him to feel the love of the fans. So yeah.
It reminds me like a FIFA character. He's so many celebrations in his locker. What one will I pull out now?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right. We're not done yet. We still have another goal here to come. So 86 minutes. Lovely, perfect back pass header from Tom Davies into Isak. 1-on-1, the cool, calm, collected Isak right in front of the goal is not what you want, but we want him back on the score sheet. I was hoping that he'd get a goal. It would do his confidence a bit of good. But yeah, Isak slotted it away and just shows how hungry we were. Like that was our 8th goal. Intensity is our identity. But your thoughts on Isak's goal? Chris, will go to you first.
Just like he's sorry for swearing, but he's just so fucking cool, isn't he? He's just so cool. He's heading in on goal. The defender's coming. I think it was Robinson. And he just puts Robinson on his arse. He's just like, yeah, do you know what? I'll just dink that way. Robinson slides past him. Keeper's coming out, and then he just buries it right in the side. Oh, it was a fantastic finish. Absolutely fantastic finish. Cool, calm, collected Alexander Isak. And people kept going on, didn't they, saying he's only got 1 goal in 12. I think that came out in the press conference. And then he just goes and shoves it right down everyone's face and throat even. And yeah, I was delighted for him, to come on and get that goal. This is the beauty of today, isn't it, boys? Which I'm sure we'll summarise. We've had 8 different goal scorers today, and now we're coming our next game. I think we'll play Carabao Cup, don't we, through the week? But our next game in the Premier League is against Burnley. So why don't we just go in full of confidence now? And by the way, coming up against a Man City side on Wednesday with no Rodri. I was at the Etihad last season. And Rodri just ran the show. So that gives us a little bit of hope going into that game as well. But yeah, brilliant finish from Alexander Isak, and just shows his quality, which we all know he has got an abundance.
So Chris, I expect a lot of changes going into that game on Wednesday. Rodri might not even been playing anyway, but he's sent it off. But Pete, your thoughts on Isak's goal?
First and foremost, it was well needed. He needed a goal. You could tell confidence with the ball and in front of goal is probably not there with Alexander Isak at the moment. And I think he's just not had really too many chances. I'd give props to him. And it's good lad. I've just seen someone become a member who I've been speaking to, and I'm really glad that he's back in the chat because he's not been in for a while. I know he's had a difficult time.
Jeff.
Yes.
Jeff.
Listen, Jeff.
Jeff.
Welcome back, my
Welcome
friend.
back.
I've been chatting to him. He's had a difficult period. With lots of stuff personally going on, and not realised until I spoke to him. So, massive respect to Jeff to be back in the chat.
Great to have you back, Jeff.
Things, and hopefully we get to see you a little bit more often. We are all here for you. Ever need a chat about anything, you know where we are. You know how good this community is, Jeff, and you know how supportive we are for all Newcastle United fans that are part of the Loaded Ultras. So, come in. Come on our shows and come for a little chat and a little bit of enjoyment celebrating Newcastle wins, mate. And I hope you well. So just wanted to put that out there. Great to see him.
Great to see Jeff back.
Definitely. But yeah, Isak needed a goal. He needed confidence. Is low. He's been doing all the dirty stuff for Newcastle, the hold-up play, the grit and the battling, particularly in the San Siro, that a lot of people don't really see. And I'm impressed with that because that's the other side of his game he needed to work on. But what you saw today is the Alexander Isak. The ball comes through and he just puts his defender on the ground. I knew it was coming. Coming even before it happened. He was never going to take that ball on his left foot. He can, but he's never going to. And he just sat down his defender. I can't remember who it was. Don't really care.
Robinson.
Chopped it onto his right foot and then just tucks it home. But yeah, the emotion came out in him. I think I only seen it in a separate video. You don't see it on Sky because they are really
Gotcha.
poor in capturing moments for players when goals go in. They are really poor with it. He does the old turning round to the fans and he gives them the fist pump, but you can tell there was a lot of emotion in that one. He really meant that and he needed that. So great goal, superb finish, and hopefully more to come because I do think he's going to start on Wednesday. So hopefully he can get a couple more against Man City and boost his tally, because our strikers are chasing each other at the moment. Callum Wilson, what he's on 4, Isak, what's he on now, 3. They're going to be fighting tooth and nail to be that top goal scorer. I can see both getting comfortably double figures. So yeah, it's an intriguing battle on our hands that we're going to be the beneficiaries of, because we're going to see a lot of goals from those boys this season.
Things we love to see: strikers battling it out for the top goal scorer, and for the place for starting positions on the pitch. But yes, that brings us to the end of the roundup of the game. Final result: 8-0 Newcastle. What a victory! What a day out! What an away day! But just a reminder, if you haven't done so already, there's about 360 people in the chat and watching live. Make sure you smash that like button. If you're watching back and playback, smash that like button as well. And bring 8 new subscribers with you. Find them, bring them with you to load it. They're missing out. Right, so lads, this is where we normally do our ratings. And this is where it gets good. It gets controversial in the chat, and people start picking holes in each other and us. But I think it's. Well, let's. Can we agree to give away everyone a 10 tonight? I don't think everyone was just absolutely class.
I can't actually. I mean, I can't actually think of anyone who I go, oh no, they weren't very good. You know what I mean? I think minimum everyone's getting an 8 minimum. I just can't. I can't really fault anybody. Off the top of my head, Pete, I don't know what you think. I mean, we can do our man of the matches, or we can talk about the collective like we normally do, like the defense, the midfielders, and then hone in on someone if you want. It's up to you, boys.
I had the mindset that was no one getting below a 9 today. Nobody was getting below a 9. I'm inclined to see the reactions of people and what they're saying. I'm inclined to even go higher than that. Nobody gets below a 9.5. Yes, I'm going to those 0.5s. Yeah, it's one of those days. 8-0. How can you mark people down? Like it just doesn't make sense. Clean sheet, three in a week. 3 in a week. Didn't have any in 19. Now 3 in a week. There's no one you can pinpoint out that didn't have a good game.
Right. Well, let's start the fight.
Who's your man of the match? Who's your man of the match?
Was that
what you're doing? Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, my internet's going running low again. But yeah, I was going to say this is where we start the fighting for a different topic, and it's man of the match. So, who is my man of the match? It's very difficult. I think I would give it to Gordon because I think once he came on the pitch, he turned everything really, and everything was going to him. But at the same time, Trippier got 3 assists. Bruno got a goal and assist. Longstaff again was everywhere. Botman got his first goal. Dan Burn got a goal. But for me, I'm giving it to Gordon. Pete.
I can't decide, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I can't decide. There are 2 standout players for me, and it's Trippier and Gordon. And I think I'm sorry. I'm just gonna give it to them both, just because I feel.
Pete.
I can't. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. They probably played the same amount of minutes on the pitch because Gordon came off. Came off the bench, and I think Trippier went off for Livramento towards the end. They roughly played around the same minutes, and they're both influential in so many different ways. The Trippier 3 assists in a game. Like, when does that happen?
Yeah.
When was the last time that even happened for any team, let alone Newcastle? Like, he was outstanding. Gordon, as you said, that changed the game. Like, obviously, I hope it doesn't look like Barnes is. It doesn't look good for Barnes. Apparently, It's something to do with his toe. It might be a broken toe. He went to push off for a run apparently, and he felt something in his foot. So it could be a broken bone there. Not been confirmed, but it doesn't look like it's something he'll be back anytime soon. So it's a shame for him, but Gordon completely changed the dynamics of the game. I can't decide. I can't. I don't think it's fair, in my opinion.
You're doing a Keith Roll and sitting on the fence there, Pete.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm pointing the finger as well. Come on.
Hang on. Let me see. No, I have to do this. Give me a second. And do this.
Darkness falls across the land. The midnight.
To make one of them for you now as well.
Oh, well, okay. Now I've got to make a decision now because I'm not doing that. Okay, I'm gonna go. Oh,
Pick someone else other than the two you said now.
oh my God, yeah. I can't decide between the two, so I'll go someone else. Yeah.
Cool.
Now I'm gonna go Anthony Gordon. He ripped him to shreds. Absolutely, time and time again, he was outstanding. And I'm doing that just to get a few more tears for Chris in his bottle. He might be thirsty later. He might want some more.
Chris, who are you picking for your man of the match?
Do you know what? Pete took the words out of my mouth. For me, before we came on the show, I was like, "Who is me man of the match?" And it was between Trippier and Gordon, because I thought Trippier again was outstanding. But I decided I've got to give it to Gordon purely, and the reason that gave me the decision to give it to Gordon was the fact that he came on and just turned the game, and he played a massive part in Longstaff's goal. Obviously, he got the assist, and that set us on our way. So for him to come off the bench and have the impact that he did, and then that brilliant finish, like I think Gordon pips it for me. But that's not to say, Trippier was me number 2. Bruno was outstanding. Byrne was outstanding. Botman was outstanding. Wilson had an excellent game. Like, you could go on. So yeah, I think I'd give it to Gordon, but there was a few candidates today. But yeah, Gordon was just different class, I thought.
Gordon all round.
I nearly started singing the song, but I stopped myself.
Gordon.
I'm singing it hard, and everyone goes, fuck off. I just can't stop singing it. Love it.
Right, let's go to the chat and the questions. We're going to take at least 8 questions from the chat. 8 is that number, and make sure you smash that like button as well. Let's go. What have we got?
Okay, go on, Pete.
1 second. I was just going to check to see how many likes we've actually got right now. I'm going to check.
Right behind the 8.
Come on. Okay, we've got 174.
Nice one.
So we're on the march. Come on.
There's another 626, was it, to go? Something like that.
We've still got time. Not necessarily a question, but a comment. Are you surprised by this? Is what I'm going to put to you, and it's from Yano. An actual Sky Sports News comment. A very busy day in the Premier League today. A draw in London derby. Victories for Brighton and Villa and Liverpool too. And the 14-all tie in the Solihull Cup. The bias against Newcastle is unbelievable. That's what Sky Sports News went with on Sky Sports News for their news roundup.
8 o'clock.
It's just so bad. It's just so bad.
What do you think, boys? Great, thank you for that, Yano. But I just want to.
We have to get on to Pete Graves now. If this continues, we have to get on to Pete Graves.
Yeah, I've got someone.
At least he's flying the flag for us on Sky Sports. Fair play.
Come
Pete.
Here. Come here, fatty. Come here, fatty.
Oh,
Teddy.
Hello.
Hey.
What's this for his name?
Involved.
Ted. Nice.
Well, it's
Good old Ted.
Well, it's
Hey,
Ted.
Summer.
Oh, Ted. Get involved. Sorry.
Just while we're here, if anyone knows what was happening or what was said during the radio Newcastle commentary in the last 10 minutes, Bill says it was utterly hilarious. He absolutely loved it. What was actually said within that, I'd like to know. Other ones as well. Carragher desperately wanted. We mentioned this before. A hangover. Him and the other commentators didn't stop banging on about it. Questions or comments? Bruno looked to be playing in a more advanced role at times, which I think helped us create a lot more. What are your thoughts on that? What did you notice about Bruno's performance? We always said he was quality, but did you notice what Craig Bell had noticed?
I thought that he played in the number 6 role today, but then when the subs started coming on, they moved him into a more advanced position. I think Eddie Howe probably thought, let him get a goal today now, and then he can sit back where he should be for the next couple of games. And he got that out of his system. He got his goal. He got to do his celebration. He's probably planning that as well for a while. And now he can sit back and do the job that he's well paid for, and even paid more now to do, and does really well. So, but I didn't think it was only when the subs came on that I thought he moved in a more advanced role.
Definitely. Well, Chris, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, he did. I mean, to be fair, he did look more advanced today. But what I will say is, I think that Sheffield United midfield just let him, and I don't think they were offering much going forward. So it was a case of, oh, don't worry, we'll get back. Don't worry, it's fine. So I think that probably gave Bruno more freedom than what we've seen in the previous games. But long may it continue, and hopefully, we can overrun other midfields that we play to allow Bruno to go forward a bit. But I take Craig's point. He did get forward a lot more today. Whether that's because Sean Longstaff was, sitting back for him, I must admit I didn't really notice. I was just all starry eyes. I just every time we were attacking, we just seemed to score. But yeah, long may that continue. And I think we all agree that Bruno being further up the pitch is more dangerous because, he has that potential to play that, unlocking pass that not many other players can play. So, I do prefer him further up the pitch.
Chris, we'll stick with you. Question from Yano. Do you think Gordon is performing better because he's getting to grips with the language?
I've seen that coming. I messaged Yano over that. I did enjoy that. Yeah. I mean, obviously, converting from Scouse to English or Scouse to Geordie, it's not always the easiest. But but no, yeah, maybe he feels more at home, Yano. Maybe now that he's probably settled into Newcastle and sees that the Newcastle fans are all behind him. I mean, we saw the scenes at Milan, didn't we? Everyone singing the Anthony Gordon song, so that's going to mean a lot to him. And in all seriousness, he's 22-year-old lad moving away from Liverpool. That's all he's known. So yeah, it's not a different country, but it still must be quite unsettling, for the young lads. And he had some bad times at Everton as well. So the fact that he's getting so much love and support from the fan base, and he's settled into his new surroundings and probably settled in with his teammates as well, it's brilliant. And we're starting to see the best of him.
His value is increasing by the day as well. But so
snip, absolute snip.
I really just hope
not the kind that we don't want. not the kind that we don't want. Snip is in the price. Is looks cheap.
Hopefully Barnes has a similar kind of, give him a bit of time, may come back with injury as well, has a similar kind of a turn as well, and he can prove himself on Tyneside as well.
Definitely. Just a quick one on Barnes, because you mentioned the early indications. If you watch back the show, you'll see that we mentioned about it. It doesn't look good from what Eddie Howe said. But any news on there? It's something. It looks like it's a toe injury, potential bone broken somewhere, and it might not seem like much with the toe being broken, but when you can't run and you can't strike a ball properly, it can be the worst injury. And because the bone is very small, it takes a long time to heal, so it can be an absolute pain in the backside. Question:
or the foot.
Sorry,
I said or the foot. Go on.
Yeah. As Brett C said, was the penalty not given today due to last week's favourable decision? Referring to the Brentford one, the Gordon penalty that we got to win the game.
No, Brett. I think that the penalty wasn't given because the refs felt sorry for them.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, another one, as you mentioned, another question in there. I wonder what people who questioned buying Gordon for 40 million are thinking now. I don't think there was many Newcastle fans that questioned it. Would you say it was more opposition fans or other clubs? Maybe clubs that wear blue. I don't know. But yeah, what are your thoughts about that, boys?
I mean, just to start it off, I think I wouldn't. Do you know what it is? I wouldn't say that I was like doing cartwheels over it when we got him. But the fact that Chelsea had rumoredly, we're going to be offering 60 odd million for us to get him for 40, rising to 45. I thought that was a pretty good deal. He's 22 years old. England under 21 international. Obviously, we didn't know the kind of tournament he was going to have at the England under 21 internationals, which made that figure look ridiculous. The fact that he got player of the tournament when there's so many talented players at that under 21 scene. But yeah, I wasn't like doing cartwheels over it. I wasn't majorly excited, but I knew the thing that excited me was the fact that I knew how much we wanted him, and the fact that Eddie Howe and his coaching team really wanted him, and we saw that in the documentary. That got me excited, and now we're starting to see it. The only thing I would say going forward, I'm not putting a dampener on anything, but just as a little caveat, we need to see more of this. So we need the goals and we need the assists. He needs to keep getting these numbers, and if he continues as he is, I've got no doubt that he will. If he can get into double figures for both this season, that'd be fantastic.
I think that's a great answer, Chris. I couldn't add more to that, but I was just delighted when he came because the passion he showed for everything. I was hoping that he'd show the passion for us, and he did. But I forgot to show this picture, lads. Most important picture of the day. This one. The team photo, and who's there sitting on the ground in the middle of it all is the woman that held firm and got her man in Anthony Gordon, who we saw in the documentary, who held firm and got her club in the shape of Newcastle United from Mike Ashley, and took on the Premier League and everyone else and won. There is Amanda and the team celebrating after the 8-0 victory. Another great picture to add to the collection.
Have you noticed how they're all behaving themselves in that picture? I wonder whether it's because Amanda's there. Normally you see like the arms outstretched and screaming. They're all just like sitting there very polite and just with a big grin on their face, and they're all sitting there, sitting to attention.
Where's Murphy? Oh, he's at the back. Look at the back in the middle.
There he is. Yeah, he's still got the mouth wide open. Yeah.
Love it.
Love it, boys. Love it. There's a couple of questions just to end off, but there's a couple of comments as well. Munch, really glad you missed your flight, or your flight was delayed so you could actually watch the game. Great stuff there. Apparently, Mbappe went off injured. They're still winning 3-0 against Marseille in Le Classique, but the game's not far away. As we've said, boys, Mbappe to a side. If we got a chance at St. James, even with him in the team, I think we're still in the game. But that was an interesting one. Pietro is a Geordie. Apparently, that's the name of the boy, Bruno's boy. I think they've already named him.
Wow.
That was what mentioned in his tweet as well. And last couple, just to wrap up. Question from Angry Arvar. How did Joe Linton and Willock get back into this midfield? It's a great question.
I suppose if you were to ask the question a couple of games ago, there was when are they back? It was all about it. But now look, it changes, and I think Callum Wilson answered the question as well. If you look back to the Brighton result and when the fans stood behind and clapped everyone on the pitch, and then do the same tonight after a victory. But it will be tough to get them back in, but we're going to need rotation anyway, so it'll be interesting. That's Eddie Howe's problem.
Chris?
I'm looking forward to Joelinton and Willock being back. It's important to have options. It's important to be able to rotate. But I do take Angry Aardvark's point. I think it's quite difficult to drop any of that midfield three now, especially after that game. You rightly said, Pete, 3 clean sheets in a row. The midfield are working really well, and they're really starting to come to the fore, which we missed. We missed in the first few games at times. But yeah, fantastic, and long may it continue.
Okay, last couple.
Chris is on the deadline here.
What does everyone think was on a piece of paper passed to Longy?
Oh yeah, I think it was just the 5 at the back, because when Hall came on, I see we went to 5 at the back because Livramento and Hall were playing as wing backs. So I was assumed that's probably what it was.
No, you're wrong, Chris. I know what it was. And it's the same piece of paper that Summer hands to you. It says, subscribe to Loaded. That's what it says. No idea, Lisa.
Plug it a bit there, boys. Plug it a bit there. There we go. There we go.
And yeah, just to end on this one, Bill just says, John Anderson said on the radio, Newcastle radio, don't think we've got enough time to score 10. Matt Raisbeck, I don't think we have time to score 9. John Anderson, guess we'll have to settle for 8 then. Just one of a number of things that was discussed in that last 10 minutes. Brilliant for that, Bill. Great stuff all round. And thank you for all your questions. Brilliant stuff from everybody.
Brilliant stuff for everybody. We're going to close the show here. Thanks everyone for over 350 people in the chat watching us live. Thanks for sticking with us and for watching. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. Make sure we keep pushing the show to get us to 800 likes as well, and bring in your 8 subscribers. That is your challenge until we see you again, and we will see you again pretty soon. So last thing left to say, Chris, I'm going to let you say it tonight after our 8-0 victory.
How'd you like that?
How'd you like that? Good night, everyone.
Drinking